This video was requested by Vincent on Patreon and contains spoilers for Thunderbolt Fantasy, Madoka Magica, Rebellion, Psycho-Pass, the Psycho-Pass movie, and Expelled from Paradise. Some people might say that Gen Urobuchi's work expounds on the virtue and indomitability of the human spirit. I mean, just look at Madoka Magica. Through sheer force of finding a loophole in the terms of service, she manages to become God, and thus blue ball her girlfriend and doom a race of alien cats to starvation. Okay, not the best example. I believe it's more accurate to say that Gen Urobuchi's work has a running theme of impotently flailing against status quo. I mean, in Psycho-Pass, Akane tries to get the civil system to literally go against its intended purpose and feel sympathy for her irrational human emotions. And to her credit, she does logically convince this uncaring system that human stubbornness will always overcome reason and logic, but unfortunately fails to realize that her reason and logic wouldn't be able to overcome Kogami's human stubbornness. Great job, idiot! But for all her badassness, she didn't actually change anything. The Sybil system still continued to grow power and keep crime off the streets and generally make life better for people.
When Sybil says it's found the perfect man for you, who am I to argue, right?
I mean, really, what did she even accomplish? Gen Urobuchi has quite a talent for making us empathize with systems that are trying to take away our stupid human freedoms. Homura did nothing wrong! I mean, sure, she did sort of pluck God out of space-time just for the sake of getting that close to her once every full reboot of the universe. But doesn't she deserve a little happiness for, being the one who caused the entire problem in the first place? Doesn't she? I mean, just because her desire to get out of a shitty contract was universe-shattering, do you really need to make her out like the bad guy?
You can call me a demon now.
In Expelled from Paradise, nobody even acknowledged the existence of an alternative to living under Diva.
Have you gotten any volunteers from Diva yet?
Negative. No responses on the transfer line.
And by focusing so heavily on these characters that act in open defiance of these systems, he's sort of reinforcing how giving up personal freedoms in exchange for a better quality of life is something that most people would go all in for. You know, I'll grant you a wish in exchange for the inevitability of a fate worse than death.
It's a fate all magical girls can look forward to.
Sign me up! Exist at the mercy of a system plagued by an inherently limited resource? No problem. We've made getting upset illegal. Yeah, boy! So because of that near universality of support, the system's drive for self-preservation can't be stopped. The victories of the characters in this show are either meaningless in the grand scheme of things or pyrrhic to the point of not having been worth the struggle, or both. What does any of this have to do with Thunderbolt Fantasy? Nothing. Shit, I fucked up. I might call this the Urobuchi's most downright optimistic work. None of the characters represent some unwavering oppressive order. No one is fighting to get out from under it. Everyone involved is in it for their own self-interest. And no one has really given up their freedom for some semblance of a better life. As a quick aside, I'm probably not going to pronounce anybody's name correctly. The Dawn family has pledged their lives to protecting a seal placed on an ancient evil demon for generations, but that's still a willing sacrifice by individuals. And even if they hadn't, or failed, the bad guy is trying to plunge the world into chaos. Survival of the fittest, or the way of the sword, still offers a lot of freedom when it comes to how you choose to live your life. But Thunderbolt Fantasy is the only one of his shows set outside of a modern or futuristic setting. And it's the only one that lacks the theme of a self-sustaining oppressive order against which resistance is mostly futile. And this information might illuminate the underlying tragedy he's trying to convey. Spreading destruction and chaos is really the best thing you can do if you're trying to control people without the ability to observe, judge, and react to literally everything at once. Or, tricking people into signing magical contracts. As time marches ever onward, we lose more and more of our agency to unfeeling systems that make caring for the masses easier.
It was thanks to their sacrifices that human society developed as far as it has.
These systems arise out of advancement in technology, or alien races. God, Madoka Magica is sort of complicating the theming here, but the overarching message still stands. The future will not be a sprawling era of never-ending opportunity. It's a cold, oppressive place with a highly restrictive class system. Whether that means you're living in constant fear of being killed by a witch, or becoming a latent criminal, or being moved to the recycle bin, there are always risks that you can't defend against. Sure, the bones of creation and the screaming phoenix killer can intimidate people through sheer force of will. But even so, everyone is still modifying their behavior in their own self-interest while dealing with those specific individuals. So, sure, the aforementioned systems are shown to work for some, but if power corrupts, then comfort will placate. These people under Sybil or Diva, they don't even remember how to function. While these people who fear getting cut down by one of the bad guys' mooks do have an understanding of their own self-interest. And some people, our main characters in fact, aren't beholden to that system at all, because they've grown strong enough to be unaffected by some random fucking guys. In the other Urobuchi shows, the people who aren't beholden to the system are the bad guys, who must be destroyed at all cost by the main characters, who are fighting against their own best interests to maintain the system that's fucking them over. Thunderbolt Fantasy, on the other hand, is a complicated web of interpersonal deceit. Everyone's being lied to and manipulated in about equal measure. In fact, there's so much dishonesty that no one even knows how to function in the face of truth. Shang Buhan is the only character who's being honest and forthright, and he's the least informed about what's going on. And of course, he's the audience surrogate main character. Thanks for asking. And as such, we the audience are as in the dark as all the characters want all the other characters to be, so you never actually see the double and or triple crosses coming, which is thematically opposed to Gen's other work. A group of characters deceiving and infighting to increase their own personal power and influence instead of the end goal being to return power to the general populace, and for who or whatever is trying to do it being labeled as the bad guy. So is this intense sense of anti-futurism a core message of Gen Urobuchi's writing career? Is he a Luddite who wants us to rage against the machines that try to take away our personal freedoms in exchange for whatever they define as a better life, but in reality only equates to more power being distributed to the ruling class? Is he trying to demonstrate that oppression takes time to strangle away our agency? Look, Thunderbolt Fantasy is obviously set very far in the past, and the big bad final boss is killed in one hit.
Killed him in one hit? Business as usual, folks.
And Madoka Magica is set in about modern time, I would say. Close enough. And it takes an immense sacrifice and a never before heard of amount of power to escape the oppression of the incubators. Psychopass is set even further in the future, and the only way to stop the Sybil system is to become a malicious bastard like Makishima, content to see thousands, if not more people die around you. And you wind up not only fighting the system you seek to overthrow, but also the people you wish to save. And by the time you get to Expelled from Paradise, it's too late. The people are completely brainwashed, and stepping out of line, even by suggesting ways to improve the system, is met with harsh retaliation. Even non-competitive alternatives have to be destroyed, and everyone outside the system is painted as scum. Is this the hidden message in Gen Urobuchi's work? That we have to start resisting now and tear down the systems that mean to enslave us before it's too late? Or perhaps the thematic tie comes in some other form. I mean, as you might have noticed, unless you're watching in another tab or something, the characters in Thunderbolt Fantasy are puppets who have no free will of their own and are being directly controlled by people who are following a predetermined script pulling their strings. Nah, never mind all that last shit I said. The dude's just a nihilist. I give Thunderbolt Fantasy an 8.75 out of 10. Make sure to subscribe for new videos, including part 2 of this video. And if you would like a video like this about any subject you choose, check out the reward tiers on my Patreon.